Right, well, good morning everyone. Thank you very much for coming. Again, just say I'm Kenneth Bannerman. I'm the head of the Airfields of Britain Conservation Trust. Now, I'd just like, before I give just a quick speech about the airfield's history and why all this matters, if I can introduce Mrs. Weston, who is, along with her husband, is a very good friend of Lorraine and Alan Sensical, who, as you'll see, will be also acknowledged in the memorial. So, just what would you like to say?
Well, thank you very much for having us here today. Lorraine and Alan do an amazing amount of work in the history side of Dover and the surrounding area, and it is actually an honour to be standing here in their place today to do this remarkable thing. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Right, well, just give the usual quick history. Dover St Margaret's or Swingate airfield, which was also more locally known as either Swingate Downs or even more locally Langdon, dates from before World War I. Now, flying proper got going here in the summer of 1913, although there had been some civilian flying on and off before. Now, the suggestion is anyhow that where we were yesterday at Whitfield, the airfield there might have almost fizzled out in a way, and it was succeeded by here at St Margaret's. However, very notably, once flying picked up quite a degree in the summer of 1913, there was a Royal Flying Corps detachment based here for a good part of the rest of the year. Things gradually built up from there on, and then very famously and poignantly, as we see in this memorial directly across from us, at the very start of World War I, the 1st Royal Flying Corps squadrons flew from here over the English Channel to France. And never mind the horrors to come of the Western Front. All these incredibly brave pilots and their crews were literally flying into the unknown. It must have been incredibly difficult. Side note to that was that once all the first squadrons had gone over the Channel, the Royal Flying Corps temporarily had more or less run out of aircraft for a short while, serviceable machines. So few were machines in aircraft and RAF's Royal Flying Corps service. However, by the early part of the following year, activity picked up again, and there was constant building and upgrading of this airfield. You can still see the hangar foundations just over in this direction in front of the two remaining radar masts. So there were all various first line Royal Flying Corps squadrons, plus reserve and training squadrons. Too many to mention, but notable ones included numbers 49 and 50 squadrons, the latter of which was based here for home defence fighter duties. And on the training front, for example, number 13 Reserve Squadron. So a lot of these units were based here for months, if not the best part of 2 years. Eventually, training became more standardised. This was Dover St Margaret's primary role, training, and by 1918, a training depot squadron was in place, and the final unit here was a more specialised unit to do with maritime patrol training. This was a very busy place. Hundreds of service personnel were based here at any one time. Flying, like no doubt today, could have been quite difficult. The odd aircraft actually flew over the cliff. That's how difficult it was. Once into peacetime, the airfield fairly quickly ran down, and it eventually closed in February 1920. There were bits and pieces of flying after that during the 1920s and 1930s, and St Margaret still occasionally featured in the news. The hangars, for example, were used for a while in between the wars for storage. There was a bad fire here in the early part of 1926. Eventually the buildings were pretty much all removed. However, come World War II, as we see with the radar masts, the famous chain home system that played a huge part in the winning of the Battle of Britain and indeed World War II. This radar station was based here on the airfield, and the radar station indeed lasted into peacetime. So not least with this very poignant Royal Flying Corps memorial, this place thankfully is still at least significantly remembered, and that's why we're really honoured to be able to, what you might say, enhance things with this memorial we're now about to unveil. So what we are doing is just really deadly serious. We're going as fast as we can to honour Britain's disused airfields and all the people who served at them with our memorials. We've now erected over 200 of them. We're going as fast as we can. So this is the fourth we've done just in about the last 24 hours or so, along with yesterday Capel, Dover-Guston Road and Whitfield. So we hope this brings suitable remembrance and, as they say, good fortune, and therefore we are absolutely delighted and honoured to unveil what is ABCT's latest memorial to yet another of Britain's absolutely priceless assets, in this case Dover, St Margaret's or Swingate Airfield. Thank you all very much. Yeah, just might need to ease it gently off the front. There you go. I'll grab it. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.